Hello everybody, my name is Derek and this is the third part to the Mayan calendar video regarding positive and negative energy theories towards that. And when I say theory, I guess I really mean theory, and this is also replied to Don Harold's recent video regarding science. And the interesting thing is I come up with these different theories that I'm going to explain within this video, and it seems evident that science is here to prove religion or theory either correct or incorrect. And myself, for 3 years, I have been waiting to either be proven correct or incorrect with the theories on both positive and negative energy. Now, going back to science, I never did too well in science in school. In communications, English, didn't do well at that, and if you listen to a lot of my grammar, I bet that doesn't surprise you too much. But where I did excel at is in the fields of mathematics, numbers. I love numbers when we talk about percentages, exponents, ratios, Fibonacci percentages, all of those sort of wonderful things to do with mathematics. That's why I don't know if I had a passion to do accounting when I was younger, but I was just so good at it that that's what I decided to get into. I was very good at using computers in school and business and finance classes. I even learned how to program when I was like 12 years old, and I even went on to make programs to figure out that in order to beat blackjack on a mathematical level, you must count cards. No other way. Anyway, I wrote some notes in here. I mean, that's not the first time I've done this video, just to help me flow in through this video. In grade 9 of science, I was in this interesting class because the teacher, none of us really liked him. He was pretty much a terrible, mean teacher. And what he did occasionally, if you were really bad, is he would set you in the penalty box, like a hockey penalty. And it was a portable for the class, so what would happen is if you did something bad, you'd have to go outside into the penalty box for 2 minutes. And if it was really bad, you'd have to go for 5. And I guess I did something really, really bad, and I had to go to the penalty box. So I go outside the portable, and Tim Hortons, which is a Dunkin' Donuts sort of restaurant, very popular in Canada, is only about a 5-minute walk, 3-minute walk. So I figure, heck, let's go to Tim Hortons and grab a donut and a hot chocolate. Go there and have some fun. And it's like 20, 25 minutes. I come back and I'm like, crap, I'm going to be late. Now I'm going to get in lots of trouble. Well, the teacher's like, oh, I totally forgot all about you. And I'm thinking, sweet. Nonetheless, I got 53% in science. I mean, I don't know science that well. And on a mathematical scale, scientific math, I mean, I can understand a little bit of it, but maybe that's the best part of my science and one of the weaker parts of what I am mathematically. Now, in grade 10 math, I had to take 2 science classes in school. I got so lucky to have a teacher that gave me a percentage of around 70, and I didn't even deserve that because the teacher would do tests with, okay, list these 13 things, it's going to be marked out of 10, anything over 10 is bonus. Okay, I got like 7 out of 10, 70%, where I should have got like 7 out of 13. That was the way that class was. So science really wasn't my thing. I don't know why, but it wasn't. Now, in the month of May of 2007, I had a wild spiritual experience. It's nothing that I asked for, and if I did, I would have no idea how I asked for it. During this time, I was new to the information of the law of attraction, and I was pretty obsessed at the time with trying to make some logic to how the law of attraction actually works. And well, within this 1 week period that I was put into, this wild ride, this major experience. Well, saying it is major and outrageous would be an understatement. And during this time, I was getting a lot of energies from what the New Age theologies would consider source energy. Energy from spirit or whatever you want to talk about it. And I'm just reading in this here, next page. So I was given information towards this positive and negative energy, and I've been trying to find a prop for how to use what was information given to me, and this is the closest thing that I can come. It's like a big picture of an earth. And basically what it was stating to me is that at the beginning of time, or at the Big Bang Theory, however you want to talk about it, that there would have been 1 ounce or one small tidbit of positive energy which would always be expanding, and that the 50% mark, or the equator, I guess the middle part of it, was going to be coming into play very soon. What that would mean is 50% positivity and 50% negativity. And it was really interesting at the time, because as it was being processed to me through feeling, the main message was, at the start, it's going to take a heck of a long time to go from, well, you see where you got this white little dot in here. I don't know if you can see the line here, but to go from this cycle here, it would take a heck of a lot of time. And each one would get quicker to the point that when we get to the 50% mark, it is going to accelerate at a high level to the 50% mark, and then decelerate using the law of polarity at the same reverse rate. This information was given to me then. At this point, I had no idea about a Mayan calendar. I had no idea of anything about 2012, and I'm saying to almost everybody that I know, this sounds crazy, but within our lifetime, it seems to me that we are getting to the midway point of this planet. 50%. The sun's been here, the earth's been here for about 5 billion years. And at the time, for me saying that we're getting to this 50% mark seemed ludicrous for me, even though the energy from source was extremely strong at that time. Especially because I had no idea about 2012. They were even giving me messages as far as the weather, and I didn't know how to explain it at the time. I was just thinking that I was going to die in a bunch of years through a big tsunami that was going to hit me. But I still don't know exactly what all the messages happened to be. So I look back at the information that I've been given, and I researched the Mayan calendar, or found out about the Mayan calendar, a little over a half a year from this point. It was at the end of 2007 when I was introduced to 2012. I was introduced to the Mayan calendar. And it was very interesting that the math of the speed for the switch over to this energy was pretty much the exact same as explained by Ian Lungold and Dr. Carl Kalaman. I had somebody ask me about Dr. Carl Kalaman, and the final part to this video series will be questions and answers, and that's one of the questions I will refer to on the final part. Once again, if you have any questions, please feel free to comment down below. So now I'm at the point where I know I'm not that scientific kind of guy. No, it's religion, and we've heard this whole theology of religion and science, and I guess they're supposed to be enemies. Well, maybe in a negative world, they're enemies. But when science and religion works together, that's when you can get some answers. So I don't know if I'll be scientifically proven or disproven, but I sure as heck would love to have some scientific information that could reassure me to whatever the scientific results would happen to bring. what I'm going to show you now is the chart that I made last year of the 20th and 21st century based on my theory for the love and negative energy. And as you can see in this chart, there is a substantial rise roughly around this 2012 period because of a major acceleration towards that 50% mark. And it's only a theory. It's only a theory for now, and I look at the Mayan calendar, it's showing me mathematically that it may come into play. And when I look at history, both long-term history and intermediate term history, intermediate term the last 10 years or so, 20 years even, or my lifetime. And the long term, looking back to the earlier stages like World War I, World War II, the Confederation or the 1750s when the Americas came into play, and then you got the Middle Ages or the Viking Age, whatever, those dark ages, and the time of Christ or the biblical time. And I look at the way humans treat each other over the timeline that it consistently improves. It consistently improves. And I think it's very obvious to me that we have more negative energy within our world than we do positive, which makes me believe that we have always been in the dark ages until we hit that 2012 point, and then we will only go to one more age, at least until the earth is here, and that is the golden age. And therefore, if this theory would be true, then it would be mathematically impossible for us to have had a beautiful, grand, more positive than negative world throughout the 20th century, and we've seen wars. So if this happens to be right, that means in the 21st century later on and beyond, it would be mathematically impossible for there to be more evil than there would more positivity. And that thus, it would assure us on a mathematical level that a golden age would be guaranteed. And this is how I look at it as. Now say today we have a world that is on average 41% positive, maybe it's 43, maybe it's 39. I have no idea. I would need mathematical formulas or science to help give me these numbers. Because if I'm proven right about this, not only would I want to know why, but I'd also want to know what the mathematical formulas happen to be. And if we're, say, 41% positive right now, that means we'd be 59% negative. So therefore, if we have, say, I don't know, 1,000 different random things that are going to come to our planet through manifestations, if it's a world where we are 60% negative and 40% positive, that means 600 of these things coming back are going to come to us in a negative form, and 400 are going to come back in a positive form. And when you do put it all together in a mass consciousness, it's going to feel more negative than positive. And if I look at how the law of polarity happens to work out, well, where are we now? We're in March of 2010, and if this December 2012 date is correct, we're roughly 2 3/4 of a year until 2012. And if we're at 40% positive now, based on the mathematical opposite of the law of polarity, that means in the exact same time that we would reach from now to 2012, or whatever that ascension period is, from that ascension to what would turn out to be 2015, then if we're 40% positive today, then we should be 40% negative. And thus, we would have more positive manifestations back within our universe. Or at least so it seems. But I'm going to end part 3 at this. In part 4, I'm going to expand on this issue a little bit more. I'm going to show a heck of a lot more different charts, and part 5 of this video, I'm going to do a video on using the Mayan calendar to make predictions, different strategies to help people along the way. So thus far, I am planning at least a 6-part series with, of course, the final part being questions and answers. Thank you, everybody, for watching this video, and have yourself a magnificent day. Bye-bye, everyone.